Clustering census tracts based on demographic and income data in Pulaski County, Arkansas. I made this project as part of Professor Vanke's Urban Data Informatics class, and I had a lot of fun doing it. So do you ever wonder what happens if you take a clustering algorithm that isn't aware of spatial relationships and throw it at census tract demographic and income data, and then map the results? Well, wait no longer, because that's exactly what this project did. So here's Pulaski County, Arkansas. I just wanted to show it so that people could get an idea of its kind of shape and geography. In the middle is Little Rock, which is the largest urban center in Arkansas, actually, and in Pulaski County. It has about 200,000 people in it, and full disclosure, it is where I'm from. As you can see, there are some clusters of suburbs, and I had heard that there was a lot of suburbanization over the past few decades. And so I wanted to see if the k-means clustering analysis could, show anything interesting about that suburbanization, i.e. that it's maybe white flight. And so, yeah, I just wanted to see if there was anything interesting that it could show that we would not see normally. And yeah, so how did I do it? I, it took a while, but I used the Longitudinal Tract Database, which proportionally split 2010 census tract geographies back in time, and then calculated the data for each of those census tracts based on what was available. And so it made it really easy to kind of go back in time and see, what was, happening back then. And so you really only need to use pandas, NumPy, sklearn, and GeoPandas to do this kind of analysis, which makes it really easy. So I imported the longitudinal tract database data, and then I spent a lot of time cleaning it and standardizing it for the k-means plus analysis. So I had to go through and extract all the variables that I wanted, make columns the same name, just like generally standardize everything. One of the big things that I had to do was convert the median household income data to $2010 so that it was comparable over time, because otherwise it would just look like everywhere was getting richer. And so the k-means clustering analysis, you have to, for anyone that's not done it before, it's really easy in Python. You just create a scalar, you standardize the columns based on the scalar, you calculate the inertia cost to see the elbow. I'll explain that more in a minute. And then you choose the end value based on that inertia cost. I also kept in mind that I was going to be plotting this eventually. And so, yeah, you standardize all the columns using that scalar. And then you can calculate the inertia cost, and if you can imagine this as kind of like a graph, the cost goes down over time. The higher the end value is, which is k here, and you kind of want to choose wherever the marginal cost going down is. It's starting to not go down by as much. So yeah, that was 10, and I fit the model. And then I rejoined, that model to the original data to have the clusters, be assigned to the census tracts. And then I began the GeoPandas adventure. So I imported the shape files for all the census tracts in Pulaski County. And then I cleaned those, and then I did a table join, is what it's called in GIS. I think it's called an attribute join in GeoPandas. Then I assigned years to each of those, and then I put them all into one shapefile based upon the way that the QGIS to web works, which I'll show you in a minute. But first, I just want to show you what clustering analysis kind of looks like. I'm sure most of you are already familiar with it, but this is just in 2D, but you're trying to find the clusters. And so this is QGIS to web, QGIS. It's really easy to use compared to ArcGIS, and it's open source, so yay. Um, and yeah, so I had to rename everything, for output, and then I used QGIS to web to create the web map. Made it really easy. I tried using D3, but I couldn't do what I wanted to do with it, which I'll show you here in a minute. So I'm just showing you that you can kind of preview things on this, which is really nice too. Yeah, so that's kind of a preview, and then the outcome of all of that is a web map. And so I added that web map to the website we created a while back, and there it is. It's really, kind of fun to play around with. One of the great things about it is that you can just filter, based on year. I couldn't get the slider to just show 1 year, but that's okay. I think it still shows what I wanted to show. So this is just for 1970, and it's colored by the pinker it is, the higher the household median income is. If you click on each of these clusters, it'll show you information about the cluster. So if you wanted to track white flight, you could put it up to, let's say, 60%. The cluster is white, and then over time, see what happens. And so it does indeed show that there is maybe evidence of white flight happening over time. There's a lot more you can do with it, but yeah, it was really fun to make, and I'm glad that I had the opportunity to do it. Thank you for watching.